Good morning. Today we will discuss regarding standards of measurement. For every kind of quantity to be measured, there must be a unit to express the result of measurement and a standard to permit making the measurements. A standard is defined as something that is set up and established by authority as a rule for the measure of quantity, weight, value, or quality. For example, a meter is a standard established by an international organization for measurement of length. The role of standards. The role of standards is to achieve uniform, consistent, and repeatable measurements throughout the world. Today, our entire industrial economy is based on the interchangeability of parts, the method of manufacture. To achieve this, a measuring system adequate to define the features to the accuracy required and the standards of sufficient accuracy to support the measuring system are necessary. The first accurate standard made was known as Imperial Standard Yard. This was followed by International Prototype Meter. As these two standards of length were made of material, that is metal alloys, they are often called as material standards. And then since 1960, the wavelength of light has been adopted as a standard of measurement. So types of standards. So the first category of the standard is line standards. So line standard, it is classified as standard yard and standard meter. Then second category is end standards. It is classified as end bars and slip gauges. And third category is wavelength standard. Now the first standard that we will see, it is a line or length standard. So the first is, so the line standard, the measurement of distance may be made between two parallel lines or two surfaces. So when a length is measured between as the distance between centers of two engraved lines, it is called as line standard. So the first standard, or rather first length or line standard, is Imperial Standard Yard. So you can see the diagram of Imperial Standard Yard. So it is made of 1-inch square cross section bronze bar. The composition of the bar is 82% copper, 13% tin, and 5% zinc. And it is 38-inch long. So you can see in a diagram, the length of the bar is 38 inch. You can see at the top. The bar has two half-inch diameter by half-inch deep counterbore holes. So you can see in a diagram, there are two counterbore holes having the size half-inch diameter and half-inch deep. The center to center distance of the holes is 36 inch and 1 inch from each end of the bar. So you can see in a diagram. Each hole is fitted with 1 upon 10 inch diameter gold plugs. So you can see the gold plugs that are fitted in a hole. The top surface of these plugs lie on a neutral axis of the bronze bar. You can see the neutral axis. The purpose of keeping the gold plug at neutral axis has the following advantages. Due to bending of beam, the neutral axis remains unaffected. And second, the plug remains protected from accidental damage. So these are the advantage of the gold plugs that are placed at the neutral axis. The top surface of the gold plugs are highly polished and contains three lines engraved transversely and two lines longitudinally. So you can see the enlarged view of the gold plug showing engraving at the bottom. So three lines engraved transversely and two lines longitudinally. You can see. Now the yard is defined as the distance between two central transverse lines on the plugs when the temperature of the bar is constant at 62 degree Fahrenheit and the bar is supported on rollers in a specified manner to prevent deflection. So you can see this diagram. This uh, this is a line standard imperial standard yard. You can see at the top there is a gold plug and the bar that is showing. These standards were used for occasional comparisons. These standards were kept in a safe custody. So you can see the construction of the yard or the line standard yard, imperial standard yard. So to protect the gold plug from accidental damage, it is kept at the neutral axis as the neutral axis remains unaffected even if the bar bends. Then second line standard is the international prototype meter. Now this standard was established originally by International Bureau of Weights and Measures in the year 1875. The prototype meter is made of platinum iridium alloy. The composition is 90% platinum and 10% iridium, having cross section as shown in the figure. So you can see the figure at the right hand side. The upper surface of the web is highly polished and has two fine lines engraved over it. You can see the two lines that are engraved on a polished surface. It is inoxidizable and can have a good finish required for ruling good quality of lines. The bar is kept at 0 degree Celsius and under normal atmospheric pressure. So you can see the diagram. So the top view and the front view or the side view that you can see. In a diagram of right hand side, you can see the engraved lines that are placed to measure the distance and the size of the web section that is shown, that is 16 by 16 mm by 16 mm. And at the left hand side you can see at the top you can see there is a engraved lines, and the distance between that engraved lines is 1 meter, that is at 0 degree Celsius, and total length of web section it is 1020 mm. So it is supported by two rollers which is kept 589 mm so as to give minimum deflection. So you can see the diagram of international prototype meter. The web section chosen gives maximum rigidity and economy of costly material. So for that web section it is selected. The distance between the center portions of two lines engraved on the polished surface of this bar of platinum iridium alloy is taken as 1 meter. You can see the distance between two lines, it is shown at the bottom, that is 1 meter. So according to this standard, the length of 1 meter is defined as the straight line distance at 0 degree Celsius between the center portions of pure platinum iridium alloy, that is 90% platinum and 10% iridium, of 102 centimeter total length and having a wave cross section. So the total length of wave section is 102 centimeter. That is the total length, and the engraved distance between engraved lines, it is 1 meter. So the top view of the prototype meter, it is shown and on the left hand side. So you can see. So this is a wave section prototype meter. Then end standards. The need of an end standard arises as the use of line standards and their copies was difficult at various places in workshops. These are usually in the form of end bars and slip gauges. Now the first category of end standard, it is end bar. So end bars made of steel having cylindrical section of 22.2 mm diameter with the faces lapped and hardened at the ends are available in various lengths. So flat and parallel face end bars are firmly used as the most practical end standard used for measurement. These are used for measurement of larger sizes. Then second category or the second type of end standard is slip gauges. Slip gauges are rectangular blocks of hardened and stabilized high grade cast steel. The length of slip gauge is strictly the dimension which it measures. The blocks, after being manufactured, are hardened to resist wear and are allowed to stabilize to release internal stresses. A combination of slip gauges enables the measurements to be made in the range of 0.0025 mm to 100 mm, but in combinations with end bars, the measurement range up to 1200 mm is possible. So these are the slip gauges that are shown used for the measurement purpose, and these are the end standards. Now, disadvantage of material standards. The material standards are influenced by effects of variation of environmental conditions like temperature, pressure, humidity, and aging, etc., and thus it changes in length. These standards are required to be preserved or stored under security to prevent their damage or destruction. The replica of these standards were not available for use somewhere else. These are not easily reproducible. Conversion factor was to be used for changing over to metric working, and considerable difficulty is experienced while comparing and verifying the sizes of gauges. Now the third category of the standard is wavelength standard. The major drawback with the material standards, that is meter and yard, is that their length changes slightly with time and considerable difficulty were experienced while comparing and verifying the sizes of gauges by using material standard. So this may leads to errors of unacceptable order of magnitude. Therefore, it became necessary to have a standard of length which will be accurate and invariable. In order to define a standard length, it was necessary to find a suitable light source from which a given radiation could be readily selected. The wavelength of the selected radiation then being measured and used as the basic unit of length. So wavelength of pure monochromatic light source is used to express definition of length. So materials like cadmium 114, krypton 86 and mercury 198 are possible sources. In the 11th General Conference of Weights and Measures held in Paris in 1960, recommended a new standard of length known as wavelength standard. So it is measured in terms of wavelengths of the red-orange radiation of the krypton 86 isotope gas. So using wavelengths of a monochromatic light as a natural and invariable unit of length, the dependency of working standard on a physical standard can be eliminated. So 11th General Conference of Weight and Measures held in Paris define as the meter as equal to 1650763.73 wavelengths of the red-orange radiation of krypton isotope 86 gas. So you can see here the meter, it is defined as 1650763.73 into wavelengths of the red-orange radiation of a krypton 86 isotope gas or atom in vacuum. So you can see the diagram. So at the left hand side there is a light source. It is a orange radiation of krypton isotope 86 and 1 meter, that will be equal to 1650763.73 wavelengths, that is shown on a right hand side. So the meter and yard were redefined in terms of wavelength of orange krypton 86 radiation as 1 meter is equal to, you can see at the bottom, 1650763.73 wavelengths, and 1 yard equal to 0.9144 meter. So that will be equal to 1509458.3 wavelength. So 1 meter and 1 yard, it is defined in terms of wavelength and which will be very accurate. So the advantages of wavelength standard. So it is not a material standard and hence it is not influenced by effects of variation of environmental conditions like temperature, pressure, humidity and aging. It is not to be preserved or stored under security and thus there is no fear of being destroyed as in case of meter and yard. It is not subjected to destruction of wear and tear. It is easily reproducible and thus identical standards are available with all. This standard is easily available to all standardizing laboratories and industries. There is no problem of transferring this standard to other standards, meter and yard. It can be used for making comparative measurements at very high accuracy. Then the subdivision of standards. The imperial standard yard and the international prototype meter cannot be used for general purposes. For practical measurement, there is a importance of working standards. Thus, depending upon their importance of accuracy required for the work, the standards are subdivided into 4 grades. So first is primary standard, then secondary standard, tertiary standards and working standards. So you can see the classification of standards in a block diagram. So the first, it is primary standards. For precision definition of the unit, there shall be one and only one material standard which is to be preserved under most careful conditions. It is called as primary standards. International yard and international meter are the examples of primary standards. So primary standards is used only at rare intervals solely for comparison with secondary standards. It has no direct application to a measuring problem. So these standards, primary standards, that cannot be used directly for the measurement. Then secondary standards. They are made as nearly as possible exactly similar to primary standards as regards design, material and length. They are compared with primary standards after long intervals and the records of deviation are noted. These standards are kept at number of places for safe custody. They are used for occasional comparison with tertiary standards whenever required. Then third is tertiary standards. The primary and secondary standards are applicable only as ultimate control. Tertiary standards are the first standard to be used for reference purposes in laboratories and workshops. They are made as true copy of the secondary standards. They are used for comparison at intervals with working standards. So it is used as a references for working standards. And the last one, that is working standards. Working standards are used more frequently in laboratories and workshops. They are usually made of low grade of material as compared to primary, secondary and tertiary standards for the sake of economy. They are derived from fundamental standards. Both line and end working standards are used. So this is regarding the measurement standards. Thank you.